All right, good morning, everyone. And today I have a very special video in mind. So today we are going to be going over the 3x3 Bedrock piston door in Minecraft. And in fact, we're actually going to be going over two different whole variations of it. This is going to be a two-part video. So this is going to be part one of said two-part video. And what is going to be going on is we're going to be going over the thin variation of the door. So I have two different variations. We have one that is thin, and we have one that is skinny. Um, so the one that is thin is 13 by 14 by 2 blocks, which I believe would make it the shortest piston door in terms of height. Um, but I'm not sure because of technically speaking, of course, you can fit everything within one block, but when it comes to bedrock, because of how pistons work here, I think it is necessary to have on the support blocks for different kinds of redstone. But I am still looking for a design where we could go ahead and get it all into one block. But for the moment, like I said, it's fitting within two blocks. So it is either the thinnest you can possibly make it, or if there is a way to make it within one block, well, it's definitely a close second. So, anywho, if we go ahead and flip the switch right here, it'll open up the piston door, and bam, just like that. So there is some powdered snow under here to make it so that we don't have to take any damage from a fall. But in general, we are all set. In fact, we can even go ahead and power it from the other side to close it. So, but today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going over all the steps of making this piston door. So I use blue concrete, or I use like concrete to go over like my redstone steps. So, but you can use any general block. So I've used blue concrete in this instance right here to show how the main pistons will fire. So, anywho, so we have a block. We'll go with blocks 1 and 2 right here. And then we have from there, you'll go outward of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then from there, you're going to go out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you'll place 2 more blocks right there. Then go to this end, and I want you to move over 1, 2, 3, 4. And then right here, you're going to go ahead and place 1, 2, 3, and then 4 more blocks. And then you're going to go up from there, and you're going to go 1, 2. And then you're going to go across a diagonal, and you're going to go 1, 2. And then you're going to go up 1, 2. And then bam, that's the block layout. So over here, you're going to want to make sure there is a redstone torch. Now right here, it's not entirely obvious exactly why there's a redstone torch right there, but it will be a little bit more clear in a little bit here. The main purpose of this here is to create a function where something activates only for every other pulse that we do. So, but you're going to need a repeater on 1 tick. Then you're going to need a repeater on 1, 2, 3, 4 ticks. Another 4 tick repeater. And then over here, 1 tick, 1 tick, and 1 tick. And then you need a repeater on 1, 2, 3 ticks, 3 ticks, 3 ticks, and then another repeater over here on 3 ticks and 3 ticks. And then all right here, you'll need to go ahead and have your redstone dust. And that redstone dust is what is going to connect up all the pistons. So that step right there is the easiest step. It's very, very easy. Now is when we're going to be going on to some more hard aspects. So, but anyway, so this part right here, I've decided to use orange concrete for. So we're going to go and start with the layout, which is going to be from that starting block we had earlier with the blue one. We're going to go below that and we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then you're going to go out from that again, and you want to go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like an 8-block pattern, just like that. You'll go ahead and apply on a piston and a block right here. And then again, we're going to keep going outward. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then we're going to go up again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to go out 1. And then that's the layout finished. Now we just need to put on the redstone. So we have a redstone comparator going outward right here, a redstone lamp right there, a redstone repeater on 1 tick right there, another redstone lamp, redstone sticky piston with redstone block right there, and then we have 1 piece of redstone right there. And we have 1 redstone comparator right there going outwards, some redstone dust, redstone repeater on 2 ticks, a redstone repeater on 1 tick, redstone dust all right there, a redstone repeater on 3 ticks, 4 ticks, 4 ticks, 1 tick, 1 tick, dust, observer facing outwards to create a 1 tick pulse, dust, and then you want to go ahead and have a repeater on 4 ticks, and then dust, and finally your redstone lamp with a comparator. This observer is somewhat important because the point of this here is that it's going to observe when the redstone turns on and when it turns off, by the way. All right, next up, we're going to be getting into a little bit more complicated parts. And like I said, this is where I've added on some extra little bits, so we're going to go over that here in a second as well. So, but yeah, remember that redstone torch from before? That is where we are now going to actually use it. So I've added on a blue bit right here to show where that first bit is with the redstone torch. And that shows exactly what is happening with it, is that when the redstone dust gets powered, the redstone dust is going to power the piston, and then it will turn off the redstone torch, which will not change the piston state, but it will change the redstone torch state. And then when the redstone dust turns off, it will, for a brief moment, turn off the piston while the redstone torch is still off, because the redstone torch takes a tick of delay, which will cause the piston to retract, meaning it will only activate every other pulse. So, on top of that redstone torch, that is where you're going to place your piston with a redstone block, redstone lamp, observer facing outwards, another lamp, and then another observer facing outwards from there. You're going to want to go ahead and place on your concrete. So right here, 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 and then not right there. Right there is an observer facing downwards. So you're going to want to go ahead and make sure that that is put on right there. So, and then that's another thing. This also is actually an observer facing downwards. So just a note right there. This redstone repeater is going to be on 4 ticks. This one as well. This one as well. and this one as well, although these ones are going to be facing in the direction of the piston. You're going to want to go ahead and have your copper bulb right there. In this case, I've decided to go ahead and have mine be rusted just to keep it in match with the colors, but you can do whatever. And then you're going to need a comparator, and then the redstone repeater there on a free tick delay. That is actually pretty important, and this has more to do with Bedrock. So depending on what kind of console you're playing on, you could end up with certain kind of issues. So yeah, you want to make sure that that is on 3 ticks of delay. So, and then I'll let you go ahead and observe this right here to see all the different blocks just on themselves. And then I'll also go ahead and put it from the side to help you better view everything. That should be on 3 ticks. All right. Finally, we are on the final part of everything. And when you're done, we should go ahead and end up with a door that can open and close. So this last bit right here, I have added purple to. So we're going to go out from that first observer that we had, and we're going to have an observer facing outwards this way 3 different times. And then into this block, there's going to be yet another observer. So if we look at this one from the underside, we can see there's an observer actually going into this block. And into that block, you can see that is the one that the bulb is resting on. So when that block gets powered, this bulb will activate. So this is really important. This is an observer. Let me just go ahead and break this. That way you can see it directly. That is an observer. All right. So from there, you want to go ahead and make sure that this one here is a slab. That way this doesn't get powered early. And then from that one observer from earlier, you're going to go out one. And then you're going to go out another one over in this direction. And then observers all going all the way over here and then up. And finally, an observer going over this direction, and this direction with a block right there. And this will go ahead and make it so that this gets pulsed, and then this gets pulsed. And that will mean that this block right here gets retracted. On top of this observer, you want to also place some redstone. So that'll connect up to that observer earlier. Remember how I said that it was going to detect when the redstone turned on and when it turned off? Yep. Well, that is where that part comes in. So anyway, let's go over the exact specifics of all the different types of redstone that is on here. So first things first, of course, we have those 2 comparators. So the first comparator you want to make sure goes into this block. That will make sure that this piston can fire. And then the second one over here, so redstone dust with a repeater on 4 ticks, repeater on 3 ticks, and then a repeater on 2 ticks. And I believe that is everything. Just to confirm, this is what you should have left. Now this block right here is a part of the wall, so this block is going to be showing. So you need to make sure that, like in this case, I have made this block yellow. That way you can see that it is technically a part of the circuit, but it is effectively like the door. So But again, that there is the final bits. And when you get done, you should have this following door. And if you want to make sure that your fall gets broken when you drop on down, like I said, make sure you just use powdered snow. It's very, very, very easy. So, aside from that, thank you for joining me. And I think that will be everything. If you have any questions or comments, please comment down below. And please watch out for part 2.